going nowhere.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's stream. It's finally Friday. I hope everybody has had a uh, a great week so far, and I hope everybody's looking forward to their weekend coming up. If anybody has any non-scale victories they want to share, I'd love to hear them. I am gonna hurry up here and get on the scale. My thing that sends the signal for the scale has been giving me an error message the last two streams, so hopefully it works well. Hold on. Okay, seems to be working. So 363.4. That is another 2.6 pound, no, 1.6 pounds down since yesterday. Okay, that makes more sense. So 363.4, that is great. So I'm going to update that here real quick while I have it on my head here. So 363.4, let me just do the math here for everything. So that puts me, since the beginning of this fast, that puts me down to, type the wrong numbers in here. Sorry. 383.8. So it's going to be 20 pound 20.4 pounds is what I lost so far this fast, and I have been fasting for, let's see, 234 hours and 36 minutes. So that's, I think I'm on like my night. Oh yeah, I guess I'm gonna be 6 more hours would be 10 days. So um that's pretty awesome that I'm that far into the fast. Real quick here, I was just gonna see what my overall weight loss was. So 156.4 pounds down. And so I'm really excited about that. The fast has gone great. But in regards to the fast, I am going to be breaking my fast this evening. I thought about it and I talked yesterday and I said that I would extend my fast until Monday, but the uh, the mental drain that it's been having on me the last few days, and then just the getting home and not having the energy to do stuff with the family or to help out as much as I'd like to help out. And then this weekend, we're going to be a little bit busy. And so the idea of going through another weekend fasting like I did last weekend, it just doesn't make sense to me. I've already lost 20 pounds in the last 10 days. So this evening I'm gonna have some juices. I'm gonna break my fast very lightly this evening, get back into a little bit better, a little bit more eating tomorrow. I'm gonna continue with the whole food plant-based diet, so that's not changing. Um, and then I'll get back on Monday and weigh just to see how much I gain back from refeeding or where I'm at after I refeed. I don't plan on eating a ton of food, so I don't plan on having a bunch of weight gain by um, Monday, but I don't, I may gain weight even after Monday. But uh, the fast has been great. Like I said, I'm 10 days. I don't know. I'm half tempted to go till 9 tonight and then have some juice and then go to bed, just to say I hit the 10 days now that I see that it's that close. But I'm not. Um, I'm not. I'm not ending it because of any physical thing. Um, I mean, other than just not wanting to be hungry and not wanting to deal with the fatigue. Um, Bolt's asking, are you against fasting with electrolytes now? Did you have a bad experience? I find it makes you feel much better and makes my past fasts a lot easier. So the this is my opinion on the fasting, and I actually had spoken to a doctor or nurse that had interned um, at with a place that did water fast. She interned with the True North Clinic. I don't know when or how long ago or what, but essentially what she talked about was because I talked to her a lot about salt because that's kind of the biggest thing that I get asked, or that's the most difficult thing in my head to give up. Like sugar is people give up sugar all the time. The oil, I hadn't really thought about oil being as bad as it actually is, and so now when I think about oil in the kind, like I said, the way I think about it now, um, that is not as tough. But the salt, not only is it tough to give up, um, but it's tough to avoid out in the world. So, and so I guess the reason why I'm relating this to electrolytes is that what they had kind of referenced and what makes sense to me is that with the salts or with the electrolytes in particular, let's say, um, if taking some electrolytes or taking some salts is what gets you to your goal, there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you need to get to your goal, that's fine. And and then in regards to what I was talking about with the salts, what they had talked about was, salt does lead to overeating and that can be a problem, but it's not necessarily a problem if it leads you to overeat a good food. So what their reference was is if you could eat a half pound of broccoli unsalted and then but you could eat a full pound of broccoli if you put a little salt in it, then you're just putting twice as many um you're putting twice as many nutrients into your body. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's when you start salting and indulging in foods that aren't good for you that you have to watch out. So I'm not against doing the electrolytes. And I don't know that I could have done 40 days without electrolytes. I did the 10 days. So I fasted for 10 days. The only thing I consumed was distilled water. And I made it through, and I made it through great. Some of the things, like I said, I didn't have any cramping that I had the first time. Uh, and I didn't have any major pains, which was something that they talk about that's like if you start having pains, that's your body healing something potentially. And so you have to kind of listen to that. But I didn't have any pains, and the displeasure, the bowel movements in the first fast were definitely uh not they were worse than they were this time, I guess would be the better way. I don't know how to explain that. And Tara is saying here, broke the 20-pound barrier. Great, good time for a recharge. Yeah, absolutely. Jen saying, "Wow, 10-day fast. That's intense." Yeah, it is, and it's mentally draining, and that's why I'm. Uh, that's kind of why, like I said, that's why I'm. It is. It's mentally draining, and like I said, I don't want to go through this weekend. It's going to be beautiful out this weekend around here where we're at compared to what it's been. I mean, literally, it was still white everywhere in our yard this morning, but by tomorrow night, I imagine almost all that's going to be melted. So I want to, get some energy in me and be able to get out and do some stuff. Um, and another, yeah, Jen's saying here that you did a 13-day juice fast and you were hungry and grumpy the whole time. I do feel like I've been a little bit shorter this fast than the last, as far as with my kids or just in my uh mentally, not necessarily but I get frustrated a little bit quicker too. And I don't want to deal with that anymore. So I mean, yeah, like I said, 20 pounds, 20.4 pounds is huge. Hitting 160 pounds by 120 days, it would have been great, but not, like I said, not worth giving up this weekend for, when I feel like I have a great grasp on my eating. And this was all an experiment to see doing a fast, just doing a fast after being on a whole food plant-based diet versus being on that standard American diet that I was on. I definitely, no headaches, no cravings. The Yeah, it was like I said, the only thing that ever, there was some cashews we had around the house, but it was never like uh again, that's something I've talked about before, is if you do live alone, or you can get yourself into an environment where you can get rid of all those temptations, it does make it easier, because you don't have to play that mental game. Oh crap, there's that bag of cashews there, I could just have them, but Carrie polished those off for me, so I didn't have to worry about that when she broke her fast. So yeah, I mean, if anybody has any other questions about this 10-day fast here, I'd be glad to answer them. But we're getting into the spring and things are getting busier, and timing wise, doing a super long fast again this quick just wasn't going to work. Um, depending on what weight I am this fall, or 6 or 9 months from now, I may entertain doing a big fast. But uh, yeah, about a week I think is good. The toughest part for me is the weekends, because I'm at home more and I'm around food more. Tara's asking here, distilled water versus spring water. Have you noticed any difference? I read once that fatigue and mood swings happen more intensely with distilled because it pulls nutrients and resources from the body. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, I feel like it's so tough to gauge the energy between this fast and the last fast, because like I said to Carrie, kind of in the first couple days of this fast, at one point I was like, God, I feel like I'm fasting at 500 pounds, or like when like that fatigue was the same fatigue I had regardless of the weight. But it definitely was it's a lot easier to get around. This morning, so what's happening here is it's getting up kind of nice during the day, stuff's melting, and then it's freezing back up overnight. And so I went outside to start up my car, and there's kind of like a hill or a pitch, and I was walking sideways across it, and my feet came right out from underneath me, and I fell, and I put my hand out to catch myself, and like I kind of did. Like I kind of caught myself and I broke the fall. And like 150 pounds ago, I would not have been able to catch myself like I did. I either would have landed harder on my elbow, or I would have let myself fall differently, like to land on the fat of my arm versus trying to put my hand out. And so it was something that it really surprised me. And then the other part of it was that I have no pain from it at all. Like my hip doesn't hurt, my hand doesn't hurt. Like if I'd have landed on my hand flat on the ground like I did, I think I would have hurt more. And so, but so yeah. Anyways, it's tough to compare being um, 460 pounds to 360 pounds because I'm able to do things and I am more active and I'm trying to do more things like or not while I'm fasting I wasn't trying to do more things, but I kept hitting the step goal on my watch. And for me while fasting, that's frustrating because all my step goal is it takes whatever my activity was for the past couple of weeks and then just adds a couple percent and say, hey, just push yourself a little bit. So, and I don't push myself a little bit with it. So I've kind of been using it as a gauge of being like, if I hit my step goal or I hit my stair goal on my watch, it means that I was more active than I've been in the last week. And so I think I hit my step goal a couple hours ago now. And so it's tougher to stay inactive at this weight as well. So I guess to answer your question about the still water versus spring water, I think spring water tastes better. I would probably continue to fast with distilled water just because of it's literally putting nothing else in your body except for water. Like that's so and yeah, so I feel like that's going to flush. Like you said, it does. It might flush the nutrients and it might flush other things, but I want to flush. Jen saying weekends are so tough. You change your weigh-in day to Monday mornings, which forces you to track it a little bit more. Pay attention. Yeah, absolutely. That is something that, yeah, I can make, I believe that helps with a lot of people. The reason why I'm not doing a Monday weigh-in on my stream, and I may be wrong, but I'm just kind of assuming things, is that I'm going to have more things that interrupt my Mondays and Fridays that I'm going to have interrupt my midweeks. And so that's why I'm doing a Wednesday weigh in. But yeah, you got to do what works best for you to keep you motivated. And then Carrie's saying that in the past she found a Thursday or Friday night Weight Watchers meeting so that she could go in and then go crazy all weekend and then work to bust her butt through the week so that she could lose weight. So she's saying that Jen's plan's much better. And then Tara's saying, yeah, there's a non-scale victory, realizing you just caught your own body weight for your own safety. I've had the same realization and it's amazing. Yeah, it's like, well, I probably wouldn't have been able to get my feet up to where I even was because I would have, it would have been so much slip, it's so slippery. Um, Jen saying she likes Carrie's idea. It's not a good idea, Jen. It didn't work for her. So, let's see here. I got some other things I wanted to talk about. So I listened to more of the book. So one of the things that the book talks about and that I have I try to make this comment anytime anybody asks me about how do you get through a fast or what do you have to do. And in the book, he talks about, everybody knows we have five senses. And there's actually a couple things that he's talking about, which are considered senses. And I think it's some sort of stuff with the inside the body. But what he talks about, what he says his sixth sense, or what he considers a sixth sense, is confidence. And I try to tell people that all of the time when they ask me about, hey, I'm doing a 5-day fast, I'm doing a 7-day fast. How do you do it? What's going to get me there? What's the magic pill? And I try to tell them every time, it's being confident that you can do it and that your body can do it. The the um and so that's kind of to me something that is, it doesn't have to be with just fasting. It can be with eating um, any type of diet that you're eating. If you're doing Mediterranean or keto or whatever, you have to be confident that if you stick to a plan, it's going to succeed for you. And you also have to be confident that if it doesn't succeed, that you can adapt and you can change and you can figure out what is going to work for you. And so that really, like I said, that kind of resonates with me, because to me, so much of the fasting, getting through the 42 days, doing the 10 days here, has been being confident that my body's going to do what it's designed to do. If my body is so good at storing fat, because it is. I mean, if my body's not good at storing fat, then I cannot imagine the amount of fat that I actually ate in my life. Like, if my body's only storing 5% of the fat I eat, that's insane. I mean, it may only be storing a third. I don't know, but like, and so if it's so good at doing that, then why wouldn't it be great at using it? You know, if it's so efficient putting it away, why wouldn't it be efficient pulling it out? And I really feel like these last two fasts have helped solidify that mentality in me and given me confidence. And that's what I hope you guys can do, is get your confidence built up in whatever you want to do. Um, Bolt saying he hopes to get a mention in my book. I am not an author by any means. I can barely type two words without a misspelling. So that would have to come with a large editing team. Um, Tara's asking if I've ever done time restricted fasts, like reducing your eating and drinking windows to a certain number of hours. You found success eating to satisfying meals and drinking water in a 4 to 6 hour window. No, I've tried doing intermittent fasting, and the like 16 eights or 18 sixes, stuff like that. And it's tough. I guess it's one of those things where I don't know that the diets was doing was fitting I wasn't matching the diet to the eating plan. And so I think everybody has to find what works for them to do those types of things. With the whole food plant based that we're doing now, there's such a volume of food that you eat that to restrict the window really short's tough. And so what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to say, okay, I'm going to go to bed 9, well, I'm going to go to bed 10 at the earliest, maybe 11. So I'm going to stop eating around 7 or 7:30. I find that I eat so much fruit and vegetables that if I wanted to not drink, I don't know that I would even need to drink, because I feel so like I don't drink a lot of water while I'm eating a whole food plant based diet, because there's so much water in the food that I'm already eating. And so so what I'm trying to do, and it's getting better at it, and I'm trying to pay mental attention to it, is I'm trying to kind of stop eating at 7:30. That way I go from 7:30 until I wake up, and then I break the fast in the morning with a smoothie or oatmeal, or is what we've been doing in a while. Bolt saying that's a great way to think about it. If we are great at storing fat, our body should be great at using it. Yeah, I think so. I don't, and like the more I learn about it, and the fact that our body doesn't even convert fat, like it just takes the fat as it is and stores it as it is. Um, it 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 doesn't seem like it would be any different than pulling it out and burning it like it did when it, the fat that it did burn. So, um, Bolt coming in 2020. He just said the title "Mentality in Me." I yeah, I guess I don't even remember saying those words together, but I did, I guess. Um, Very catchy title. Just kidding, sort of. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's weird. I'm not a. Um, I don't know. It's not what I started this for. Um, but I appreciate it. So the other things I had to talk about today, and I've actually gone longer than expected so far, but um, was with kind of what the Eat to Live book that I read talks about, and something that I was thinking about with a like I remember having conversations years ago with people that talk about, calories in, calories out. That's how you lose weight. And it's 100% accurate, calories in, calories out. You lose weight. I mean, there may be medical conditions or stuff above my knowledge that doesn't, that breaks that mold, but calories in, calories out, basic premise of losing weight. But what they don't talk about is the it's not just calories in, calories out, but your body, I feel like, needs volume in and volume out. And so with the diet that we're doing, or when you do a more plant-based diet, the volume of food you're eating is so much higher and it's a lower calorie amount. And so um and I guess why I'm saying it is because so many times during the last 2 months eating this diet, I binged and ate what I would, if I would have eaten that in actual white pasta spaghetti, or binged on, like, instead of binging on a salad, which is the weirdest thing I ever thought I would ever say. I just said it. But um, if instead of binging on a salad, I binged on a bag of Doritos, um, I satisfy that volume need my body wants both ways. And I get satiated both ways. But if I eat a bowl of salad, 500 calories. If I eat a bowl of Doritos, I don't even, try twice. I don't even know what the calories is. Like, but, um, and so calories in, calories out is extremely important. But I found so much satisfaction in the volume of food I've been able to eat. And I brought it up many times. I brought it up earlier. Um, uh, there's satisfaction in bowel movements that I think your body has, because it's cleaning out stuff as well. And so um let's see. I think I missed a key. But anyways, that was Carrie saying she's writing down the title. That's what it was. Okay. Um Bolt saying he'd like to see the volume of food I'm eating now. And then Tara saying we should come revisit it in 6 months. Yeah. Uh yeah, I mean, it's something where right before I went on the fast, I was trying. So, one of the things they talked about in the Eat to Live book, or one of the books, is that the average human stomach can hold about a liter of, I hit this, can hold about a liter of food. And so you need to put a liter of food in it to make it satisfied. Let your body process that, and you need to do that 2 or 3 times a day, is what they said in the Eat to Live book. And so I had been eating smoothies that were probably between half a liter and 3/4 of a liter, just throwing stuff in the blender. And then after that book, or the last few days there before, I was actually trying to force. I was putting more stuff in there to create a liter of smoothie. And so that's kind of what I was doing for breakfast, was a liter of smoothie. And then my lunches are pretty sporadic because they're at my office, um but then for dinners I would, like, doing what I would call a large mixing bowl size of salad for dinner. We take a large mixing bowl and make two salads out of that because I eat one and Carrie eats one, or she'll make something. But um, so yeah, uh, it's different. I mean, I'm probably eating. I'm eating less volume of food than I used to eat. That's 100%. I mean, that's not in question that I'm not eating less volume of food than I was. But when I lost 125 pounds, I literally, I always hate to admit how I lost that weight because it was, I don't know, it probably, but I would go all day and I wouldn't eat. I'd be fine. And then I would leave work. I would stop at the gas station. I'd buy a regular size Kit Kat and I'd buy a small like can of Pringles. It's like the size of a 12-ounce can. And then I'd come home and I'd cook like one of those sausages that's like U-shaped in a package. And I did that for 9 months and I lost 125 pounds. And I always forget to say this, and it's not intentional. I just always I was seeing a doctor at the time, and when I started it, I was taking shots to my abdomen of like a B vitamin or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, the shot, but I was like these needles. I was doing it to myself, and then I was taking phentermine or like a half a pill of phentermine each day, and that was an appetite suppressant. And so what happened, and I got to like my goal in 9 months, but then I quit taking the phentermine and I didn't fix my diet and I just fell apart. But I think what happened for so long, my body was craving to be filled, and I never satisfied it. If I would have at the end of 9 months started eating large salads or foods that had a large volume and started satisfying that satiation craving my body that I had been suppressing with the phentermine. Um, but I don't ever think about the fact that I was suppressing my appetite with the phentermine. I just think, oh, I only ate those three things and I lost the weight. Um, and so it's not been intentional that I've forgotten to mention that. It's just never, I never think about it when I'm on stream. So then Carrie St. Kielbasa, salsa, Kit Kats, and Pringles. That was my diet. When was this 125-pound sausage? I don't remember this. So this I've talked about. It was in 2013 when I lost when I went from, I was 400 and I guess 15 pounds or 414 pounds. I got down to at least 285. That's the lowest I remember seeing on a scale. I that was the diet that I was on during that time. I don't, maybe I didn't, I thought I mentioned it kind of on stream before, but I've never really kind of gone in depth about it because like I said, people would ask me, oh, how'd you lose the weight? I just quit eating. And now when people ask me how I lost the weight, I say I just quit eating and I'm being serious. Then I wasn't necessarily being serious. And then, yeah, that was when I did that TV interview. Yeah, like if the doctor didn't even know, like they didn't have me food log or anything. They just said, uh, just go, here's these pills, eat what eat what you want to eat, I guess. And that was the diet I chose: chocolate chips and kielbasas. It was like a human growth hormone that we were injecting. It was, I probably took years off my life doing that. So, yeah, Jen's saying that's crazy. Your body must be so happy with the nutrients you consume now, and it really is. Like I remember the last kind of big salad I had here before I started the fast. For like an hour or two after, I just felt so clear and energized. It was weird. I mean, it wasn't weird. It was great, but it was surprising because I don't have that from eating food. And then Carrie saying that's the biggest thing for her on this diet. She is so satisfied when she eats. she doesn't, and Carrie's mentioned this in the past that like she'll go and she'll have a McDonald's and she just doesn't. I mean, she loves the taste of it, and we all they they've spent billions of dollars to make us all love the taste of it. So, um, we love the taste of it, but yeah, she's said that many times that it just doesn't satisfy her, and that's part of the stretch receptors in your stomach receiving a signal, and it's not getting what it's actually thinking it's getting, and things like that. Um, Tara's saying satisfying, nutrient dense, filling meals are underrated. They are. Like I watch, I don't. I watch some videos of other people that post videos on YouTube, and I see their struggles, and um I want to I wish that they could see the same light that I feel like I've seen, and just like I said, the optimism is a big part of it, and sticking to it too. Like so many people don't stick to it, and so um the yeah, it's so but I'm also in a position where I'm only halfway there. And so when I get there, then, you know, my voice will be heard by, or, people will listen to what I say more, I guess. And then I can write a book, Mentality in Me. Um, so, Tara's saying you're right, or Carrie's right about the fast food is deceiving temporary comfort that's ultimately disappointing. Then you feel like you need to eat again 30 minutes later. And then you do. You eat, some chips you have in the cupboard. Um, when does Carrie Foss start her making salads and high volume healthy meals channel? Yeah, that yeah, that's not really like I said, that I just kind of said I don't know. This channel, what I started off to be, what it's going to be, what it, it's all different. Um right, once our kid, we have twins, our twin daughters are not in school yet. And so there's not a whole lot of mama free time to do fun things like get in front of a camera. So, and then Tara saying the emotional and nutritional satisfaction factor is what makes your journey so inspiring. Thank you. It's not, uh, yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it. It's something that it was, uh, I just kind of jumped in. It was, didn't really I had a plan, and then that Mike Tyson's famous saying is everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. I didn't necessarily get punched in the face, but uh, everybody has a plan until they start actually putting it into action, and they come across an obstacle, or they come across uh, you know an opportunity. I mean, that's something that you got to be adaptable, and that's what I'm hoping to be. It's You got to make that lemonade. So that sounds good, but I don't know if I'm going to have any sweet juices for dinner. I'll have to figure something out. So, but yeah, I really appreciate everybody being on the channel today and all the talking. I Again, I'm super happy with my 10-day fast. Over 2 pounds a day for 10 days after losing, um, I don't know, stupid amount of weight and going into it. I didn't expect it. I mean, I was losing 2 pounds a day was, I think, better than the average I had towards the end of the other fast. My last fast. That'll be Carrie Fa's book, High Volume Healthy Meals. There we go. See, this is like a brainstorming meeting here. Um, so again, I appreciate everybody. If you enjoy the content, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below, and turn on notifications, do all that stuff. There's a Discord link in the description. We have a bunch of channels in there. I'm trying to grow the Discord. It's just a place. I'm following a whole food plant-based diet. I'm doing extended fasting. There's so many ways to lose weight. it's so it's a non-denominational weight loss channel. I don't want any criticism of people's stuff. If you don't want to learn, if you don't want to talk about keto stuff, then don't read the stuff in the keto channel. If you don't want to talk about whole food plant-based, don't look at that. I mean, or you can look at it, but just understand that I'm trying to be open with it. So the link in the Discord should be in the description below. To be active for 7 days. If you're watching this for some reason in the future, then hit me up or look for a newer thing. Maybe there'll be a link, or what's going on with that. I also have an Instagram account that is at Fasting. My hands are backwards here from what I'm used to. So that is FAHSTING. I also have a life app with a group that is also fasting. There's a couple people in that as well. So everybody have a great weekend. Stay confident, and don't beat yourself up. Just do what you got to do to get through the weekend. And yeah, Carrie said, if you guys are on a different diet that you'd like to discuss or share, let me know. And I'm happy to add stuff onto it right now. I mean, anything that will increase traffic or participation, I'm for. So, because I find a lot of accountability with you guys, I hope that I create accountability for people as well. And I hope I inspire you guys to get your health and wellness under control. Got to get going, but everybody, thank you for checking out the channel. Make sure you subscribe, share it if you want, because I'd love to grow the channel and reach more people. So you guys all have a great weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing you Monday.